Yo, welcome back. How's it going? Boom.
It's going, man. It's going. How's everybody doing out there? Great midday show. These guys are always and consistently killing it. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome.
It's going to be quite a show we've got lined up for you right now.
Yeah.
We're going to have great conversations. We're going to have great trades.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have some comedic value at some point.
Hopefully.
We're going to have a rundown brought to you by our viewers. You know what's always going to do some laughs. Oh, you got on. Have you always wore that smart watch thing?
Yeah. The Fitbit, yeah.
Fitbit,
I've had it for 8
one.
months now.
8 months?
Yeah.
And?
Pretty good.
What are you using it for? Monitoring?
Mainly sleep tracking.
Yeah. Actually, that's what I'm using mine for.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I wasn't feeling that well, it's like I woke up about, I think it was 1,400 times over the night. Not that many, but yeah, something like that. And it's just like you're looking at it and you're like, okay, they're now starting to make sense. Hey, you know what else? You know what else is pretty good here?
What else?
I'm not even logged into Unity, so I can't hear anything Ram saying, so that's all good. So on purpose. So the other thing too is that
I'm not plugged into you.
because none of us are into Unity. Perfect.
Hold on, let me plug myself in.
So what they show you is like inefficiencies, like outliers. So that's pretty cool. Your respiratory rate overnight, if it's an outlier, it'll show you that.
Yeah.
So that'll give you an opportunity to maybe think that you're coming down with something. I was looking into all that.
No, I was like, oh, why am I waking up and feeling kind of groggy?
Right.
I thought I had enough sleep, and then it shows that, okay, well, you've been incrementally waking up and your restlessness is higher than average.
That's what it is.
And you can kind of compare that to like eating times,
TVD.
What you're eating, when you're drinking during the week.
Yep.
Like you're always going to be a little bit more restless when you've been drinking. Alcohol might do that.
That kind of.
Yeah, and
I was going to say, the more water you drink, I think the better those reports are.
Yeah, definitely staying hydrated, not taking, and sugar as well. Sugar before bed, I've found that definitely increases restlessness for me.
Yeah,
So I'm just like, all right.
Well, you know what sugar does to you, I got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it gets you
also,
going.
Ramin wants us to remind the chat that there will not be a market recap today. You want to speak?
So the great thing about Ramin is she has a live mic that she can just instantly talk to everybody and remind them of that.
Come on, Ramin.
Come on, Ramin. Why don't we do that? Give the people what they want. You know, they want more Obi. They got more Obi. I'm here. I had today booked off for vacation.
Show, yeah, you did.
You know, but we can't.
Guys, there's no recap show today.
All the fun. See, now I feel FOMO.
Hopefully you guys heard her there.
Now I feel, what? She said something?
No, she said,
FOMO.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Like,
all right, now
like
I'm in.
now
we're not
recap
having
show.
unity.
Now I'm in. Now I hear her. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. All right, so we're $1 in the money on the TQs. We got that trade going on. You're in AMD. Oh, it doesn't show it at the bottom. All right, we'll get out. There we go. There we go. I took something out on. There it goes. Right back in there right now. So we'll be very, very patient with our trading here this afternoon. It's embarrassing what happened to Tesla. Tesla absolutely rips off, and we have the bottom of the day out there on Tesla. So your boy ain't the happiest about that trading there today, but we made it back. We didn't make it back, but we made back some money there with Apple being long now, 40 cents in the money, and we're also long the TQs. Obi and I are going to take lots of questions, lots of anything you have from us. We're doing the week to review trades as well. That's going to be coming up later on. That should come through. That was a great one. We had IBIT, was a great call for us last week as well, so that was popping off there. Tesla, you're in AMD again. Lots of stuff to talk about, man. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I want to see what everybody's watching. Some football tomorrow. What are some Thanksgiving traditions? We'll talk about that in the next couple hours. And then tonight, again, as Ramin's reminded us a couple times here, no recap show tonight because
What just happened to Uber?
Please tell me it went up, dude.
Someone in the chat said Uber just tanked like crazy. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but
we can
let's. And SPEC, TVD in the chat.
Ooh, Uber's back to $72, eh? Okay.
IFT.
Is that a tank? Yeah, so there is
definitely some sort of news.
Adara's around, but all so we have the. That's okay. Nothing. I'm looking it up. I don't see anything really on Uber right now, but there is the move down 72. Well, you know what? I think it could have just been this break, dude, of $72 right there. Flushes down, a little bit of volume, not a lot there. So I am not overly concerned about this move down. We've actually bought some more Uber over the last little while. We bought some more down here at 68 and change. It went all the way back to 74. Okay, Adara will be sending me some news ASAP on Uber. But I hope everyone's doing well. I mean, what's up with the chat? UAMC, USMC? No, what was the one?
Oh, from this morning.
Yeah, UMAC. That's what it was. UMAC. I'm pretty sure.
UMAC.
Yeah, there it is. Unusual machineries.
Yes.
Again, down now 10%. Or sorry, that's still Uber? Oh my God. UMAC right there, 75%, just now underneath VWAP and trying to go the other way. So look how good this was holding VWAP until it wasn't, and that was the cascade right there. So you may get a little bit of a bump back. Wow, what a wild day. This was 1150 last time I saw it, down to 750. Oh boy, one man you don't want to get upset because he's got to get ready to get some turkey on. It is Sharif, and he's over at the screen. So let's go find out what he's up to.
Am I on? Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big kahunas, Obi's in for Neil today. They're locked, they're loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. So join Joe and I during that midday How to Trade show and get into the chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. 2 polls, one at 11, one at 12:30. Have your say every day. The future really off the bottoms and continuing to go. This is a look at the triple Qs right now. It's still in negative territory. Likewise with the ES and the Dow. The Dow is almost flat, down 0.13. The Russell 2000, the only one in green territory after it made all-time highs on Monday. So we'll continue to watch that rotation trade take place. The first ticker, though, as decided by you, Tesla, 1.6% negative at the moment. Still reeling from that decision by Gavin Newsom to exclude them from any possible future EV tax credits that California may offer if the federal one is canceled. Separately today, though, they did have this headline referral program where they're sweetening the deal, trying to get those deliveries up by the end of the year. They're offering $1,000 for the referrer and $2,000 if you're referred and you buy a Tesla. Different discounts, though, on the different models, guys, but still down 1.5 on the day.
Tesla with a bit of sell-off there, man.
What's up to everybody in the chat there? Talking about what's up to right here. DLV, OB, nice trades today as well. Not even trading, but love seeing crushing. GME talking about it. And then shout out right here, Turin Bar. The anchor VWAP from highs and lows in election of the NASDAQ has been printing. Shout out to B. Shannon. Yeah, man. I mean, I've tried to tell you guys, we are always going to have the best guests on this show. And Brian Shannon never, ever disappoints. My guy, BS, Brian Shannon, no BS.
Yes.
From Brian Shannon. So shout out to that guy. That was really bad. Okay, at the end of the day, though, really bad.
I just got it. Nice. That
Yeah,
was a little
no
slow.
BS.
Yeah, Brian Shannon. Yes, nice. That's dope. I like that. That's
Right. I'll be all right. 2 more hours, my
Shannon.
guy. Okay, so just all right, just real quick, man.
Trading for you guys.
You want to talk about bad trading and stuff like that. I don't think it was bad trading at the end of the day. I mean, I don't know. What wound up happening here was we got a pretty bad slip here when we broke through 330, and we tried to protect it. We wound up getting out at like 229, so that turned out to be a bad trade for us. We were actually in the money early on Tesla. I liked the stock. It was up against a negative NASDAQ at one point. Now, obviously, Tesla's more red than the NASDAQ. So yeah, sort of pie in my face on this one. We went long early, able to get it out, and it was great, man. We were really, really printing. And then we realized, this stock does not want to break VWAP and break through the 200 period. Then it started collapsing. The good thing is we almost got out of it all. It was like a really good day, and it was a really good stock at one point. Then it came in, and we wrote down on the sticky note, 336. All right, doesn't age well. Here comes 336 coming in right there. It breaks out and then breaks down, I guess, obviously. And there's a bunch of covers here, but the problem is they're all in and around 335. So that's already $1 and change of a hit on that side of things. Then as it fell back in, we thought that we would zoom back out and find a 332 level. Well, that didn't hold at all. And then we started messing around with 330, which didn't hold. And then we said, you know what, one last long. Okay, well, what if it breaks 327.50, I guess. At the end of the day, it was this little bottom wick that we were holding out for, 327.50. It breaks and we get out. Well, the pain pretty much stopped there. It goes down to 326.60. So the fact that we got out did save myself some kind of pain because at least we didn't choose 327. But then the rip happened and it's been kind of like pretty much ripping all afternoon or all midday. Not ripping, but like it had one move back down there at 12, but since then we touched view up and now we're above it. So I think Tesla can continue to work to the upside. Not a bad day overall, but a rough one early because I just kept on believing in it a little too strongly. We should have really waited, to get the call from the person that's probably long the most Tesla in the world, besides Elon, Kathy Wood and ARK Invest. That might be true, actually. On ARK Invest. So we'll just continue to watch out for it. Again, thinking positive thoughts about it, but Tesla, yeah, we could have done better.
Yeah, that was an aggressive selling that came in on Tesla in the morning session right here. Opening range low, VWAP sellers definitely kind of dominant off of the open there, and then getting crushed through that opening range low, which is sitting in and around 336 halves or so, and then flushes down aggressively all the way down to 326s. That's absolutely crazy. So flush almost 20 points.
Yeah,
that's wild. And then the reversion doesn't catch as sharply, but a nice grinding reversion all the way back up to VWAP there. So definitely wasn't clean, was a little bit mean. The reversion definitely was there, but now we're trading back at VWAP here. You can see the market ticking back up as well. And I saw that Mirek Formek asking in the chat, how did you get in at AMD 133.16? Well, the price was there, and I hit the buy button.
Is that how it works?
No, I had to try a couple of times. It wasn't a single trade. It took a couple of tries there. Action definitely was slowing down on top of the 133, and that after getting stopped out twice, I guess the mean reversion was pretty nice after it hit that low below 133, I think 132.96 there. So happened to work out there. Nice little confluence with the bounce off of 20,700 on the NASDAQ as well. So, but yeah, with that, I guess we're talking about Nvidia.
Nvidia is the next one, guys. Good look for, well, not a good look today, down 1.9, but definitely off the lows. They did have this little tidbit, not specific to them, but looking like Nvidia's and Intel suppliers are rethinking producing anything in Mexico now that Donald Trump has warned that there could be a 25% tariff on anything imported from either Canada or Mexico. So I'll have to keep an eye on this to see if it affects their costs at all, guys.
Nvidia for tariffs? I mean,
what did they do again?
Nvidia?
Yeah.
I think it's like a taxi company.
Oh, okay.
But at the end of the day,
has some pretty decent price action.
Yes, I've heard of them something about this company before. Oh, you know what? I tweeted, thanks to Dara for this. Check this out, man. You want to talk about it? Maybe. You want to talk about something here? So look at this.
Boom.
This chart is here, the 25 best performing stocks in the S&P 1500 over the last 5 years. So you take them all. This is the last 5 years. Okay, so if you dropped right now $1,000 into Nvidia 5 years ago, I'm gonna take a cup of coffee. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee here.
Wow.
25 grand. Hydration Nation with a little bit of beans. Yeah, so pretty impressive there. Alpha, I don't even know this, metallurgical there. Yeah. So that's a mining company.
Oh, wow.
There's Celsius Holdings.
Yep.
M to the R to the A. There's Mara. Look at GameStop.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, that can't be right.
5 years ago,
market cap. Oh, market cap. Yeah. My bad. Yeah. Tesla, 15,000. So 15x. So this is why, again, we could talk about all of this. It doesn't really matter. It's just even Eli Lilly, there's 7x. I just want to show that there's Elf Beauty. I'm supposed to be in that name as well. Arista Networks. At the end of the day, there's Console Energy. Like, there's many different names in here from many different sectors. And I know that we're going to talk about Nvidia, but that's mining. Oh, here it is right here. Sector, materials, technology, staples, technology, like energy, right? Energy. Technology is probably going to lead the way if I added it all up. Mr. Cooper, right there. Coop, what's up, Coop? But anyways, there's a little bit of a look there on what stocks have been banging around over the last 5 years. So Nvidia does take the cake there because many of us probably not involved in AMR. So, all right. So I know that we have people in the chat. What's up to Kyle? Up to a lot of other people that are like, yeah, man, the market's going downside. Is it really? I mean, the thing is that obviously, if you're breaking from 150 short term, I think there's been a decent, Our charts still don't show it. Darn it. There's been a decent pullback right into the 50-period moving average. To me, and again, not to like rain on everybody, I like buying good stocks at 50-period moving averages and then loading them up at the 200. So unfortunately, our chart won't go back that far. Let me find out where the 200 period. I haven't traded Nvidia today. The only trade that we have is AMD, and that's going to be you, and that's coming up next. But right here, the 200 period on Nvidia is down here at 112, 115. That would be great if we got anything down there. The last time I was able to buy Nvidia was down at 104, so right into this area. We got decently close there. I still think there is some room to go down. I would like to start maybe the bidding in and around 130, so a couple more bucks in, I think, for Nvidia, and we start to buy it. But don't forget about where this stock has come from, right? This is last December. We were $44. This December will be $140. So it's like, you know, you're still up pretty nice with NVDA. I still like the stock, but it's getting beat up a little bit right now. Many of these names have gone through this sort of revaluating phase. It is a fail off of 150. Congratulations, anybody that saw this pattern. Fail, fail, fail. Earnings day break. I remember I was long 150 and celebrating getting some out at 153. Then the Tank City happened. And since that earnings day, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight downside days for NVIDIA. So unfortunately, right now, NVIDIA's not taking a breather. It is trying to catch back up. Maybe we found a bottom there at 133, 132. I like the stock.
Yeah, no, Nvidia's been pretty wild one on the day today. We're seeing that reversion come in on chips. This morning was distinctly different. I was like, all right, well, chips were sold off quite aggressively yesterday. If you look at, I mean, Nvidia not as much as some of the other ones, but if you look at AMD, you look at TSM, you look at Intel as well. SMH, again, giving us that nice direction there as well. Yesterday sold off all day. Little bit of a pop, but coming in today, we reject prior day's lows, and Nvidia more of the same on that ticker right here. Not even prior day lows, we reject pre-market lows and just continue to the downside here. VWAP being, again, a little aggressive on the sell pressure there on the way down. Bit of a triple bottom here at that 132 before we finally kind of pick up the bid and go. We do a little bit of a lick grab of 20 pennies below the dollar there. 131.80s is the day low, trading now at 134.5. So we've pretty much reverted a decent chunk of the move. Opening price is at 135, and we're only about 50, 60 pennies away. So is this going to be a V-shaped recovery into the close? I have no idea, but absolutely beautiful action on the chips today, both off the open and the reversion. It's been quite nice. Beautiful rounded bottom.
Isn't nice.
All right, guys, IBIT up nice, 6% after a multiple day sell-off today. There's no specific catalyst on this one, but it could have been helped by the PCE, the GDP numbers, and the jobless claims that we got today. All were looking quite strong. Separately, Bitcoin making a nice recovery after dipping into that low 19,000s area. But I was talking to Joseph about this off camera. It looks like it defended that area quite well. Moving up now, looks like, you know, we may break that 100,000. Who knows on the weekend?
Talked about some Bitcoin, talking about 100,000 at the turkey table. I think that's still a very, very strong possibility. But what you can do is actually trade IBIT and trade Bitcoin with Trade the Pool. Join us with Trade the Pool and our new competition. We've got something exciting prizes lined up, including a massive 160K extra buying power valuation for first place. There are 20 first place wins. The competition kicks off December 2nd, so get it now. We'll join it next week and runs through December 6th. You got a week. With winners announced on the 9th, the competition is your opportunity to push your limits and see how far your skills can take you. Mark your calendars and make sure to click that QR code or scan it and click the link in the description to join this challenge. It's an exciting one. Get that extra buying power, Obi. You know, you and I actually talked about this earlier, and that is for different trade opportunities, you know, that we talked about. Sometimes you look back and it's like, not enough. Why didn't we maximize?
Yeah. Why didn't I ask for more? Right? That's always.
Was this guy holding a Bitcoin pillow or something right there? What kind of an AI thing is that? Okay,
it's
so.
Chip. Bitcoin chip? I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like a coin. It's like a flyer.
Can you fit all your Bitcoins inside of that one Bitcoin?
Probably, if it's on a ledger.
What is the size of one Bitcoin? One node? I have no idea. All right, IBIT. I mean, look, it was the #1 trade idea on here, and we wrote down 52.50. It was the #1 trade idea for the week at 53.50, and it's at $55. So it's a win right there for all the bulls riding up this wave. I mean, 96,000 and change. for BTC. I'm going to call up the Bitcoin chart right here and have a quick look at it with you guys because IBIT, I mean, it's always a buy. What I'm noticing here about VWAP is it seems to always be a buy if you like what Bitcoin's been doing, right? You're not going to get that many opportunities to get into this name, especially on breakouts, because realistically, the best breakouts are like every $1,000, you know? So you want to wait for that. And right here, 96.5, we've had a little bit of a problem on that. So here's the 96 hold, pretty much clean right here, right back into there. We bounced around it, fell back in. And then look what I'm talking about. There's 91, right? Like 91,000 is where we stopped. I'm going to have to get out of this TQQ. We're over 100 handles in the money on this futures long right now, by the way. Sebastian, I'm long TQQs, so I'm going to maybe get out of this in a second. That's what I'm looking at, so get a little nervous. But I only have about 20% left. All right, there goes Bitcoin, straight to the upside. It does bounce. This is the 50-period moving average on a 30-minute chart. This is the 200 period. You'd like to have it hold the 200 period. Obviously, the last time we broke through the 200 period was all the way back into here, and that puts us back into last week. So look at this move. Look at this 200 period moving average. It goes back even further than that. You don't have a break of the 200 period moving average back until we are November 5th, 69,000. Okay, we held it. It's all the way up. Held it all the way up. Okay, then fell back in and right now is trying to dance at, what a surprise, the exact same level that we had broken before. So here's BTC. Here it is right here, 96,000 for me. Enjoy your turkey dinner, winners. Stay long crypto. I mean, you're holding 96. If we can keep holding this 96, 95, 8 area, I like the stock, baby. I mean, I just showed you how far back you can look at this. This is the breaker right there. I feel like you can hold this, man. I feel like if we hold 96, that's your key. There's a hundy, man. How close did we get? 99.5? Come on. That's close enough. So we're gonna break it. I feel like today or tomorrow. I like Bitcoin. I like the hold here of 96. Let's see if it continues to work. So if we're going to use that on IBIT, it's the same kind of a chart. We'll drop down a 30-minute chart here on IBIT, IBIT, and we'll find that quick little level. Here's a 20-minute chart. Let's flip this over to 30, give ourselves a little bit more room. And of course, it's going to be a little bit different because Bitcoin, that's a 24-hour chart, right? This 30-minute chart gets interrupted because, of course, it doesn't trade off hours. So it's not going to be the same. But I'm looking down into here. Remember I talked about the last time was back into here that we broke a little bit higher. So it does kind of play. So $53.50, $53 for IBIT. As long as we're above that, man, we good to go. And that's where we started the day. I like the stock. I like it all the way back to flat. Let's see if we can buy IBIT. I bet it's going to have to be sub 54.50 for me to get involved. Obi.
Yes, sir.
I like the stock.
I like the stock as well. I think that Bitcoin, again, in my head, we've pretty much tested that 100K mark. We got to what, 99,860 was the high, and that's just under a 20th of a percent left to go to actually hit that 100K mark. We're only $160 or $140 away from that 100K mark, and pretty much in my head, that's pretty much as good as a 100K test. Sure, we get back up there. That would be pretty nice to see those the six-figure digits on Bitcoin. Another iconic moment, but yeah, IBIT pushing to the upside. Very strong bid off of VWAP in the morning session. We know that Bitcoin has been running a little bit as well. Back up, trading right now at 96,450s, and IBIT is coming back up into this $55 level. So if we go up to a higher time frame right here, we can kind of look at where IBIT was over the past couple of days right here. You can see that some support coming in just on top of 55s. High is sitting at 56.86 on the ticker. We talked about this bit of a trend break. That trend broke. We faded off for a couple of days, and it seems like today it is the reversion of the reversion, where we're catching a bit of a bid back up into the mid 50s right there. So we couldn't really get all the way down to 50. That's fine. The bid catches on once again, and don't forget, bigger picture, we have been trending up on this ticker. Gap up trend, gap up trend, gap up trend since its inception, the IPO that did come out earlier this year on IBIT. You take a look at the, nope, I want to go to the weekly chart, please. All right, so weekly right here, You can see that we kind of started trading at the beginning of the year there, and we've kind of stair-stepped above this $40 consolidation underneath in and around that $40 stair-step. Look at that expanding volume coming in as well. Could be interesting. I'm looking for those 5686s. Might not happen on the day today, but definitely something to watch out for as Bitcoin creeps a little bit closer and closer to its all-time highs. So IBIT definitely one on the day that if you got with the trend, you're probably sitting pretty right now.
AMD's trying to come off the bottom, certainly off the bottom there as it works its way back into that consolidation range where we opened up down 1.5%. Again, no specific catalyst for this semiconductor name, but there was this little tidbit. Taiwan Semi ramping up their 2-nanometer production, and apparently first in line, Apple and AMD going to get the first batch there. Keep in mind, initial production of the 2-nanometer chips is going to be very limited by Taiwan Semi as a result of a prohibition by the Taiwanese government disallowing them from producing that overseas. Got to be made on the mainland.
Are we still doing IBIT?
No, AMD.
AMD, okay, good. All right, so yeah, quickly, why don't you discuss what you saw there? Because you had a great trade off that VWAP and off that hold and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's a few trades on this ticker. Thank you, Sean. Yesterday, I was looking at this ticker and I was like, oh boy, are we going to bounce? This is a 15-minute chart. So again, chips sold off aggressively yesterday. This was quite the move. Again, we identified AMD's ATR to be about 4.65, 4.64, 4.5, let's say, and we did about 6 points to the downside with no real relief. Any of these bounces couldn't even get, I guess, what is this? How much of a bounce do we have? We have about a point of a bounce. This flush is about a point. So I guess a quarter. So less than a quarter of ATR on the bounces. So that's pretty weak there. So coming into today, I'm looking for continuation below this level here to see if the selling is real. Where can it potentially catch? And right off the open, it gives you that prime entry, which I definitely missed. It lick grabs this consolidation high from yesterday, where selling pressure kind of sustained for over 4 hours, almost 4.5 hours. Selling pressure sustained, and we could not even get a bounce towards VWAP. Forget about it. We're kind of coming back into the lows, coming in off of the open. Not only do we reject that consolidation high, we also start rejecting underneath VWAP. So this is what I got involved in off of the open. A little tight to begin with there. I did get stopped out once. I didn't like that because I'm like, all right, well, I'm getting stopped out because I'm not giving it the real risk that it deserves, probably up to the highs. And then once it kind of gives you an option to get your risk in a little bit tighter, maybe on the hold of VWAP and the breakdown of this opening range lows as well, kind of trail it down. That's where I should be getting a lot more aggressive, but with the trend there, and we continue to sell off all the way down to 132.96s on AMD. Now this broke down a couple of levels. So you go up to the weekly, right? So let's take this VWAP off. You go up to the weekly right here. Not only did we break prior week low, we also broke this prior week low as well from the week of November 11th. So 133.76s. We come into some previous levels here, 132s, and start to do a bit of hold, right? So it's like, all right, well, we get a little sideways. Market starts to bounce as well. Nice little confluence with that 20,700, and we start to turn. It happens to work out. We got the reversion all the way back up to VWAP, and I got a little bit, I guess I took out a decent chunk on top of VWAP, but we're starting to continue. I have a little bit of a runner left going just to kind of see how far this move can really go. We kind of broke back through VWAP. We're holding VWAP, and we're coming into this morning consolidation area just underneath that 136. So I'm curious to know, well, the VWAP sellers are no longer there. The 136, let's see if some of that support turned resistance is continuing to be resistance on the day if we get up to 136s, but VWAP hold as of right now. Nice little reversion on the chips, very similar to action to that of the NASDAQ and Nvidia on the day today. So AMD, pretty solid continuation on I guess a day 2 from that selling from yesterday. So that's the look I had on AMD, and I guess got a little lucky with that one today.
Yeah, great trade there, obviously, on that name, and will be the #1 trade there. So good job. And then just real quickly here, just to talk about some stuff in the chat. So we just got to 28 20,800. We're over 100 handles in the money. We bought the dip at 20,700. We actually talked about this earlier on in the day here on the NASDAQ, and that was right into here, this bottom. We talked about it coming in, not holding that 20,075, coming back in and then looking at this level, and we did hold it. We did have some movement to the bottom side, about 23 handles lower than 20,700, but we took that long down there on the TQQs, and right now, just trying to make sure that we are able to get some out. So while we were gone, we went swimming again today there. We got stopped out right there, which sucked. That's too bad because we had a nice ripper there. We had over, I thought we could go. I just didn't think we'd get stopped out, but we had 70s there up to 25, so that's like 50 handles. And then we just came back in and we really liked the 50 period. We were going against there now all the way to the upside, but that's just dropping off right now. There's nothing really up here. It's 20,800 on the Qs. So that was that. And then we were able to get out more and more here on Apple. Our only trade on Apple today was off the 200. And just now that it's sort of flattened out here, we're getting some more out on the top side of Apple as that's almost turned green. You like red or green apples?
Red.
Red, me too, yeah. The Granny Smith, I like the Granny Smith. You know, that's a little bit too bitter. But then the other red ones, the other green ones, my kids really like. What are the other green ones? Which one? No, Macintoshes are... I'll find... Oh, Golden Delicious.
Ah.
Those are delicious. The
apples.
Golden.
Yeah.
Golden and delicious.
Yeah, you can't ask for more.
Those are my favorite apples as well. But we didn't go apple picking this year. A little sad about that, actually. All right, Sharif, you go apple picking?
I haven't, Sean, but green apples all the way. I got a sour taste, so that's the way it is there. Hey, all right, guys, Dell, tough day, more than 12.5% right now, lower. They did report yesterday, mixed report, but the street not digesting it well. They did quite well on their AI server delivery. That boosted about 58% year over year. It was their consumer PC division that continues to suffer, down 18% year over year as we continue to wait for that upgrade cycle out of COVID. This is the analyst ratings as a result of yesterday's report. Barclays maintaining their equal weight, but boosting the price target from 106 to 15. However, Citigroup, they dropped the price target from 160 to 156. Mizuho also chiming in, guys, dropping the price target from 155 to 150. And last but not least, Malaeus Research, they maintained their buy rating on Dell, but did boost the price target up from 140 to 155, guys. So a bit of a mixed bag here.
I don't know, not much to say about Dell because when I looked at it this morning, it was down 12%, and I looked right now, it's down 12%. So I don't really, you know, not too much movement here. I mean, literally, this is the open right here. This is where we are. So we are at the same spot. This move is to be expected. We talked about buying 120s. It gets as low as 121 right there. And then we talked about breaking through that upside of 128. It gets as high as 127. And then it just plays in the middle. So why did we look at some of those levels? I mean, here's Dell right there. I liked 120. We talked about it right into that level right here. So on the daily, again, good report, not a good guide. You know, plus you get the SMCI scare, all that kind of stuff. We'll see if some server racks. HPQ is going to be another name, HPE as well. But coming into 120, I like that. I thought it was a good dip buy opportunity. Looks like we might not get that, so I'm waiting for a couple more net red days in the NASDAQ to step in here and buy DELL, Dell, because I, again, like the stock. It's up pretty huge here year to date. I mean, if you go back to January, Dell was cruising 75 bucks, makes a move up to 185, puts a bill on it, and then drops all the way back and almost negates the full year back down to 87 bucks. And then since then has had a nice move up since the bottom of summertime in August. So I like Dell. I think it can hold the 200 period. So as far as the stock, yes. As far as today, no. I mean, I would like to see more movement in this. The fact that it hasn't means we'll stay away from it heading into what is going to be obviously a day off tomorrow and then the half day on Friday. So I could see Dell kind of just cruising. I like the stock. I think it's a great dip buy opportunity. You don't get that many opportunities to do that on great names. I thought you got one on Uber, I thought, in and around those mid-60s. We tried to take a little bit of advantage of that. We got a dip buy opportunity as well in the other tech name, Google, that was down there. But Google has DOJ issues that are always on top of it. Dell was just an earnings issue, and I think they can work their way through it. I like Dell at 120.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking for a move on Dell today as well, Sean. And, yeah, I guess where did our anchored go? So there's that anchored from the morning session right there. We held it quite well. So I guess it did do what I was kind of looking for in the morning. Right off of the open, we get that rejection of that anchor to the downside, but it holds quite well at that 120, 130. Don't forget that this was also opening up as an SSR name, down over 12%. So we pretty much did nothing after that move. We kind of had this strong flush. We had the hold, maybe a bit of an SSR bounce as well, break through the highs, revert that as well, and then look at that price action. Price has just been compressing in and around VWAP underneath that anchored as the day goes on. So yeah, I think a little bit of a muted response on a bigger picture, maybe if you're looking at it as a whole day. But off of the open, definitely some strong opportunities if you're taking scalps of pre-market highs and lows, and I guess some tape action potentially on that 121. Again, SSR, you see that bid come in very, very aggressively when it does, after that selling has pretty much dissipated, and it takes us to some fresh highs. But Dell, potential missed opportunities, but I think I kind of looked away from it after it kind of just was chopping around for a little bit too long there right off the open. I did see that I missed that short, and when it held that low, I'm like, all right, well, I'm pretty much done with this one. I don't really have much else that I can think about executing on it. But yeah, if I stuck with it, I think there was definitely a couple of reversions and maybe some continuation trades as well on Dell on the day today. But okay, we come back to it tomorrow. This is earnings day one. Earnings day two might be interesting because we have defined pretty much a range, a range for the day here. 127.15 is the high, 121.30 is the low. If those prices come in on day two, don't forget prices compressing. If one of those sides come in, maybe potentially perhaps we have a trade on our hands. But yeah, we'll have to wait. I'm going to be waiting for a day two on that one there as the market comes back in through that 20,800. So we did have a nice little reversion there. You can see it on a lot of different tickers, not just AMD, Nvidia as well. Let's see what Softy did off of that. Did Softy revert? Yeah, I guess it reverted to VWAP, but relatively weak here compared to the rest of these names, which have already kind of reclaimed their VWAP as well. And I know Tesla had a bit of a reversion there, but it came all the way back to VWAP. Apple, although kind of, I guess, a chop fest here. No real, I guess it did have a bit of a reversion there after 12 o'clock. That's when a lot of these reversions did come in, around 10:30, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, depending on which ticker you're looking at and how you might be looking at it. Some of those bottoms were made around different times, but bottoms were made nonetheless in the morning to end of the morning to midday session there, and we were ticking right back up. So gonna be patient. Let's see what we have in store. I sold way too much AMD once again at that VWAP mark, and we continue to tick higher. So that's okay. We try to use this experience and this data to get a little bit better for tomorrow. But where is the next trade, Sean? That's what I'm asking. Oh boy, look at that reversion on ARM. I guess that was really nice as well. A lot of these chips, Intel reversion was beautiful too. The thing I really liked about this AMD reversion, you're just talking about it with some of fellow traders in the pod as well. That high volume bar that comes in and marks the low. You can see it. It's very, very distinct, distinctly different, some might say, on AMD at that low. So look at that. Would you look at that?
Can I look at that?
Yeah, right here. Look at that. Look at that volume bar. Absolutely beautiful. And I was looking at this on the 30-second chart as well. That 30-second volume bar almost contesting that some of the bars at the open. So absolutely wild. You can see that 135 had some strong volume as well. So I like that. Market's kind of reverting, but I don't really see too many other trades. I don't want to add more to AMD here because, again, I think the EV was probably the best in and around here. And I'm thinking about it, maybe the ads were in and around that 133.60, maybe even 134.20s for a push into VWAP. But then look, the pullback on top of VWAP also held. So I'm questioning, do I get more on the pullback into VWAP? Do I reload on this ticker? But I didn't know it was going to do a full-on V-shaped recovery all the way to 136's opening range lows.
Know that?
No, I didn't know that. How could I know that, Sean?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I have no idea.
We've
try to dance with the flow. as best as I can and make the best decisions.
So,
Stun of shades.
in attempt to read the market a little more clearly here,
Yes.
I'm gonna put my best Joe foot forward here. This guy's got the specs going on there.
Let's go.
Trying, Joe. Styling and profiling. Ric Flair, man, to beat the man. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Okay, so right into here. Look, I'm trying to decide which way I want to flow now. And I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I'm gonna try to favor the bull right now, but it is a little bit tough. But we have outs, so that's the thing. So I'm just thinking about like, all right, let's just think about what's going to be happening here. If Bitcoin breaches or whatever it gets to, I don't know where we're going to go exactly here with BTC over the weekend. But at the end of the day here, I think the market could rally even further than obviously than where we are right now. So what I'm looking to do right now is relatively easy. Try to go long against almost like this break here, 20,780, maybe down here, 20,760 or so. Just, I think there's a good chance that we can get to the upside here today. So with that being said, we didn't come all this way. Honestly, we're at VWAP, we're at the 50-period moving average. Looks like it's trying to go here. I'm gonna try to support that move. So if Amazon and the futures can go, what stock do I wanna be in? So then I looked over and I saw Amazon. I saw Amazon had quite a nice move there, nice little base downside. But guess what? We're above the 200 and we're above VWAP. So I like the stock. And that's the reason why I like the stock. It is not rocket science. It's a simple long ahead of VWAP, ahead of the 200 period. And if we break 206, well, then those are those levels that I'm talking about. So we'll have a baby position right now. Started off here in Amazon. We're long. You can see at the bottom, I'm long the NASDAQ, I'm long Apple, and I'm long now Amazon, which is 5 pennies in the money. But we'll wait to see where it goes. Hopefully a little bit higher, obviously, than where we're looking at right now. We did have a little bit of a problem with the 50-period moving average last time. So I feel like that's a decent out, 206.80 if we can get up to there. That'll put us right where we need to be and feeling it. So if we could do that, that'd be great. Bottom out, 206 and change. Sharif, I'll see you on the webcam, my guy. Yes, sir. So I'll see you on Friday. Look, we're going live. I don't know if you're gonna join us or not, Obi.
I mean,
we're gonna go live on Friday morning. We're gonna take a Q&A. It's gonna be hilarious. If you're Friday is a PA day. Oh no! So I'm gonna have my kids running around. But actually, they're both doing something. They've got hockey that day, so you will be able to see. Maybe Brendo, maybe he'll be there.
Okay.
Maybe Joseph will be there, maybe Obi. Without any further ado, it's the sweet, sultry voice of Obi.
Yeah, VinFast. That's what I'm going to pull up on Friday with. All right, so VinFast. Exciting news from VinFast, the electrifying story of 2024, guys. Hold on to your seats. VinFast, Vietnam's EV trailblazer, just released its Q3 financial results. Here's why the buzz is real. Q3 delivery skyrocketed by 115% year over year with nearly 22,000 EVs delivered. How about revenue? A solid $512 million, up 42% from Q2. And that's not all. Gross margins improved by nearly 4,000 basis points compared to Q2. VinFast is now Vietnam's undisputed EV champion. After pivoting to a pure EV strategy just 2 years ago, they've zoomed past global brands in the market, growing their retail sales in Vietnam by 159%, quarter over quarter, and an unbelievable 504% year over year in Q3. So, what's next? VinFast isn't not slowing down. With Vietnam as its launchpad, the Vietnamese EV OEM continues to balance growth and cost optimization. And with new funding of $3.5 billion from its founder and parent company, they are set to stay in the fast lane for its global expansion. VinFast. Beautiful.
Yeah, sure, Costco. Yeah, send me these Black Friday deals right now. That's hilarious. I just got another message from Marissa. She said, don't yell at me. We got to pay this hockey guy another $320 for camp that they're doing over the Christmas holidays.
Okay.
It is going to be something else here. I need more, Obi, I need more
buying power.
Need more buying power.
I know, man.
Give me some more shares. Stat right up in here. Okay, so just real quick, real quick. The TQs, man, continue to go a little bit higher. So, all right, I'll be happy to be wrong on that one as we continue to go higher. I mean, nice bounce there off. I mean, I like the trade now, right? I mean, there's the bounce off VWAP. If I didn't like the trade, I'd get out. So that's the other thing. You can always, like, say trade more, do this, do that. But the thing is, by holding on to your positions, it means that you're believing in that direction. Man, that looks like a nice little hoagie over there, man. That's sub. Yo, when you get a second, show Joe's screen there. That's an Italian sandwich right there. You know what I mean? Show it. Yeah, show it. What do you mean don't show it? I'm waiting to show it. Ramin, where's my guy over
Where's
there?
it at? Oh, okay,
Look at that.
All right, yeah.
Is that like a little prosciutto? What is in there? Some salami? That's some mortadella?
Oh, it is.
I mean, that's
There's a few things
tomato.
in there.
Some bocconcini in there too? What the hell's going on? Damn salads.
Eating good.
What did you have? You had one of those?
I had one of those.
And?
Yeah. It was solid.
Bang.
Solid. Yeah. I liked it. And a little touch with the potatoes as well. Potatoes is a little. I mean, the salty kick was nice. Let's say that.
Oh yeah, I saw those potatoes there. Those new potatoes, smaller ones roasted. Those were.
Yep. Oh, there he is.
There it is. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Are those roasted peppers? Right there, hanging over the edge.
Some
there?
of them might be. Some of them roasted.
Those tomato. Those are.
Yeah.
Those are roasted
Yeah,
peppers.
those roasted peppers. Yeah. I'm telling you, these guys are
The show about to end real quick.
Oh boy.
Right now. Joseph bringing that over here. Hey, okay, my guy, I see you. No, we're having a good time here. As we get ready for turkey, man, I mean, any traditions in your house for Thanksgiving?
Usually family dinners.
Family dinners, yeah, same. Yeah.
We have family coming over as well on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, but this, I mean, we don't do anything for U.S. Oh, yeah, you have a lot of family in the U.S.
Yeah.
Are they coming up? You guys going down?
Maybe. I don't know for sure, but yeah, I think.
A little late to make those plans.
Yeah, I mean, usually, here's the thing. Nobody tells me plans until they actually happen. Like, I show up and I'm like, oh, cool, there's people here. Nice. I just show up. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I had my how old is this guy? 21 or 22-year-old phone me last Thursday as I was taking my son to chess, and he's like, "Oh, I want to take you guys all out for dinner. How does like next?" I think it was Wednesday. It might have even been today or next Thursday sound. I'll just make a reservation. I'm like, no, you got to book like way in advance around us because of all the different activities. Like that's the one thing.
Yeah.
When you get married and have multiple kids,
yes,
then you will see it's your life completely gets turned around. But for a
what do you think is a good number
of kids?
Yes,
3.
3.
Yeah, I have 3.
I have 2. That was my family as well. I have 2 siblings.
So no, I mean, look, to each their own. Obviously, I think that it's so. The one thing here is that we could talk about this for a long time. We will get back to trading. It's become infinitely more expensive.
Yes.
So that is like, I'm not, it's easy to say that because everybody is complaining about prices and everything like that. But like, try to feed like growing kids.
Oh yeah.
And you're trying to do the best as a parent and give them like higher quality foods.
That's why you got to have that Costco membership.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's all about that, right? And it's like,
yeah.
So I find it really great and fun, and I don't care. I'll go broke making sure my kids have everything they need, so that's obvious. But at the end of the day, clothes, like all the essentials, and I don't need to speak to anybody in the chat right now because
people are throwing up numbers. Merrick's saying -2.
Kids, yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. So I don't wanna, I've been fortunate enough to be able to do this, basically have Marissa work at home, like not even just sort of be the at-home mom, take care of everything, organize everything, do all of that, and be able to do this all while basically on one income, which has been really a blessing, but that's tough to do. Wow. So I would say it's tough to do everything by yourself. So I would think that you would need definitely, like nowadays, it's great to have a partner to help you out, sure. And it's great to be able to have something saved up for expenditures. Because not only that, here in Canada, we're really lucky because you get sick, anything happens, like my kid breaks something, it's to the hospital. I've never received a bill at all. Yeah. And I've raised 3 kids. I mean, I think like if you take an ambulance maybe too much, I think you wind up I don't know. I think there might be a $50 fee for taking an ambulance. Yeah, I think that's where I just send the kids in the Uber. They don't even take an ambulance. But no, you don't pay for casts. No, I think it really depends. I think there's like Neil. Like Neil just had that ACL. He didn't pay for anything. The only thing that he was telling me he had to get was the cane. Right. But then you got insurance. Like insurance will cover some of that as well. Yeah, it's pretty solid. But yeah, if you stay relatively healthy and here goes the features a little bit. Yeah. It's not really that bad. I would say so. All right. So back. Yeah. Good. Yeah. We're just really, and again, health of the problem with having kids is you're always worried about them.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, you know, I used to be like, 50 pounds lighter.
Do you live close to a hospital?
I used to have no dust in my beard, huh?
You live close to a hospital? Because like when growing up, my parents, like that was one of their, like in terms of like housing, like where to buy a home. It was like
let's go to both of us.
Best schools. So they wanted really good schools for both elementary and high school, and they were like, it's important to have like a hospital nearby. And we live like I think it's less than a 3-minute drive from Stouffville Hospital in Markham. Beautiful. And yeah, that's helped out so many times, especially in emergencies. Like you can literally hop in your car and it's right there. Yeah.
So school was important just because, not necessarily, I mean, so like I went to, obviously me and Neil went to public school and it was fantastic. It wasn't like it was a pretty decently quality school, but public school, very, very diverse. And I felt that was a fantastic experience for myself. So yeah, for me, I wanted school somewhere close, easy to get to. If there was a problem, we could sort of get there ASAP and deal with all of that.
10 minutes away from school as well, like high school. Yeah.
Okay, as we go, man, Apple just continues to go, so bang. And remember what I said, like we're gonna have some talks here this afternoon. We're gonna let our positions try to get going a little bit. I want to thank Obi for engaging in all these talks. I know I can be a lot, but there it is. Nice move up to 235.20. There goes the move right there as we continue to hold on to Apple as it continues to go higher. So again, another name there that we like. The TQs, I mean, bang it out for that. It's holding as well. But you know what's not doing anything? We put on our little Joe glasses there and we tried to find a trade. And you know what? Amazon hasn't done anything right now. Like meanwhile, Apple's gone up 20 cents. The Qs continue to hold. So maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're wrong here on this play. So I could see Amazon making that move back in. But the thing is, we have cover for Amazon. I'm actually not buying any more until 206.20. So I'm going to wait, man. And if it comes back into here, we'll give it back through 206. If we break 206, we'll get out. We're not going to dig our grave here with this stock by any stretch of the imagination. We have a very, very light position. I have the same amount of shares now on Amazon that I have on the TQs. And we're 130 handles in the money right now. And we've already pieced it out. And we only have about 15% left. So we're starting light on Amazon. We are getting out of Apple. We have 5% left of Apple. I know, I wish, we actually got a lot out there just above 235 just recently. So those were some good outs for us as we talked about getting a little bit nervous. So let's just look at some other names that are moving. Bitcoin, 96.4. I've liked trading Mara. We saw that list there, how Mara has been the FOMO play. It's up 7,000% or something in the last 5 years, maybe even more than that, as Bitcoins are hot, right? And Mara, although hasn't been following crypto, like Bitcoin's not up 7% today, but this name is, right? And again, I'm a little bit torn on investing in Mara because I don't know exactly how the halving works. Like there's 33 more halving cycles. So if that continues to happen, as far as I know, that makes hash rates that much more difficult. But the benefit of being in a Mara or looking at it is they've already got everything built out. They've already got the system. So the barrier to entry may provide difficult for anybody else. So maybe Mara, Riot, all these blockchain mining companies, you know, they've got it right now. And Michael Saylor's dropping as much money into these as he possibly can into Bitcoin. So there's still going to be demand to mine these things. And there is a finite supply. So maybe Mara's onto something there, needless to say. Nice move up there today. But again, until we get a dip down into like 26, 26.40, I'm not just going to punch long here. I like the long for sure, but where? You know, right here, it's not really giving it to me. So I don't see that. Unfortunately, I don't see much clearly because the only position I recently punched into was Amazon. So let's find something else out. Coffee Trader, I mean, look, even SMCI, I just clicked on it because it didn't show up on the scanner, but it's only showing up because it's bouncing off the 50 period here numerous times, not really giving us a trade. I said there was some major tech names that have fallen down that you want to take advantage of. And then Coffee Trader said, yeah, there's a couple good examples. One was CrowdStrike and one was SMCI. So I just want to talk about the difference between the two, right? Like I said, CrowdStrike's a great example, Coffee Trader, but SMCI is not really. The reason why is that this dropped on, obviously, insider selling, the report from Hindenburg or whoever it was. They're the hit piece on that. There was another piece that followed that talking about they're selling. It was a family-run sort of inside business there. You guys can look it all up on SMCI before I, quote what's incorrect. And then all of a sudden their auditor left. And then you had this huge drop down. These are different businesses than a CrowdStrike where you're just simply catching a falling knife, but you know what's like sort of the sharpest part of that knife already. With SMCI, they had threats of delisting. So if you were sitting there and bought 16s or 20s and it went to 37 for you, fantastic. But the difference between CrowdStrike was somebody, and I don't want to say like what a fool or anything like that, you may be watching. I don't know if you're still employed. But they basically released here, and I think we talked about this on the show. They released a version of their software upgrade that was not much of an upgrade. In fact, went the other way and disabled a lot of their systems, causing Delta, a few big advertising companies, and all that to have potential breach and down flights. So that created all of this. That's a problem they can fix. That's a high quality problem. They fixed it, they patched it, and right back as if it didn't happen again. So that way on the downside, I feel like as soon as you sort of got word that it was patched and fixed, then all you really worried about was lawsuits, which can be a huge problem. Don't get, I'm not saying they're not. But at the end of the day, SMCI and CrowdStrike, little different situations there. But the name that I like that's been dip buying here, and then all of a sudden today we get that bad report from Uber, and Adair gave it to us. It was the FTC Uber faces FTC consumer protection probe over their subscription plan. So she saw that. Why not? She saw that on X. So I didn't see that come across anywhere, and it has slightly recovered, but it is a nice drop down. Look, you don't want anybody investigating anything with your business, really, to be honest with you. So this will have to get all figured out there, but I'm a little nervous about Uber. Other than the fact that we're at the 200 period, I would have liked to hold it. I thought we did a good job buying down there. We did have a nice gap up over the weekend into 73 bucks, and I'd like to see that hold. So this negative news, not great. Let's see if we hold 70 bucks. But there it is, the gap up into 73, now fading on that news. So a little worrisome there for Uber and some of this trade. We did not average into Amazon down there. We're still waiting for, maybe we'll put it to 25 now. We were waiting for 20s. I'm going to flip it over to 25 and start bidding some more Amazon. I still like the stock. Apple continues higher. TQQs go higher. And your AMD is now almost $2.50. ITM. In the money. Or in the moment.
In the moment, yeah.
What's up, Adara?
Just a quick refresher there for that Uber story. So UBER, you can see this volume spike to the downside in the 15-minute chart. It's the highest volume candle of the day on the 15. That's coming through there at around right at 2 p.m. We dropped to the $71 level. Bloomberg News, I guess, reporting that Bloomberg is facing this FTC consumer protection probe with regards to its subscriptions. Apparently, the investigation was actually opened earlier this year, and Uber's lawyers know about this. They've already complained to the FTC, saying that they've basically rushed a settlement. Not seeing a lot of details on that, but basically, again, this is Bloomberg News reporting that Uber is facing this FTC consumer protection probe that sounds like it's actually been ongoing for at least a few months now, guys.
Yeah, that candle was definitely pretty interesting, probing all the way into this double bottom here on Uber. So yeah, that's an aggressive selling. So I was looking for a continuation move or maybe a reversion as well, but it's been sitting there. I've had this chart up since that news kind of came out, being interested in that candle right there, but it seems like that was just a scalp. If you were already sitting there, that reversion pretty much came right in pretty aggressively after that the selling came off of the ticker, and we bid back up for almost a full % off of those lows, so pretty much trading sideways. So I was looking for a pushback up into VWAP, but that didn't really come in, but something worth maybe watching going forward. But yeah, if the news is old, as Adara just pointed out, and market just reacted to it because Bloomberg posted an article. I think that's a good time to look at a reversion there if it's old news and the market might just be reacting in the short term. But we didn't really get quite that aggressive of a reversion, but we were already trading much below or holding below VWAP, so maybe it just did what it was already going to do, but on a faster frame there. Off of that volume coming in. What do I know? But yeah, no, AMD still holding that trend to the upside here. I actually want to get in I guess for maybe a potential push to the downside. I'm waiting for this market to kind of make a decision. We're still consolidating and holding above that 20,800 for a pullback in. This opening range low at that 136. We came right into it, and a bit of a trend break on a shorter time frame. The 15-minute looks perfectly fine, but if you go down to a 3-minute, you can see that we're starting to kind of creep a little bit lower here as of right now. So holds that view up, pushes to the upside, and attempting to break that trend as of right now. So I'm looking for strong enough reason to sell, so strong that I might even want to look a little bit the other way on AMD. So that's what I'm kind of waiting for. Let's see if that 136 morning support turns resistance again after, again, look how long this bid has been grinding up. So since we made those lows right there, if I can throw that measure on, so we've been grinding up for over 3 hours, guys, over 3 hours. So 3 hours, we've caught a straight grinding bid here on AMD. So I'm curious to know if SMH caught a similar bid. Yes, it did, for over, I guess this one a little bit over 2 hours. So just under 3 hours right there. I got 2 hours and 39 minutes from the low to this current high right here at 237.80s. So maybe I want to see this take a little bit of a pullback. Maybe I want to see that 20,800 also do a little bit of cracking. And but the thing is, Nvidia is holding consolidation, AMD is holding consolidation, SMH is looking like it wants to tick higher. If AMD ticks higher as well, that's perfectly fine. But I'm going to use I'm going to look for a strong reason to sell going into the close. And if that does not show up and we continue to bid up on what seems to be much lighter volume, I mean, especially if you compare it to the morning session, we've been bidding up on relatively lower volume here, and similar kind of story here on AMD, relatively lower. Look at that aggressive selling. You can see those tall bars there, and absolutely beautiful that we make also a pretty tall bar on that low a day coming in on AMD. I think it shows up a little bit better on the 1 minute, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so you can see that towering bar that came in with the low. Sure, we had other bars that were pretty strong there, but I think those bars came in when we broke through some significant levels. I think that bar is through the break of 135. I think there might have been some size there, and that shows up on as a tall volume bar here as well. But this little grab of 132 was quite significant. I actually got stopped out on that grab of 133s, and then got right back in after I saw that kind of price action come in. So it's like, all right, well, if I were to go back and watch the tape, where do I want to watch it? I definitely want to watch it in and around here, and also coming into that level, looking for that distinct difference and the bid to start picking up. And again, a little bit of a missed entry here, and then 133.60s when it pulls back and holds a prior high for that continued push post reversion there on AMD. But yeah, what are you guys trading? I want to know where's the next trade? What do you got? Amazon, okay.
Yeah, man, we bought that. I mean, we were just like, you know what, man? I mean, 40s is right here. We've held it a couple times. Obviously, as VWAP continues to make higher moves, as does the 200 period moving average, our stop was going to be 206. So I said, let's get a little more aggressive here, because we're right. I mean, we're not right or wrong right now. The futures aren't doing anything, but at least we're starting to go back upside. I said I preferred the long, but that really hasn't given you any sort of a push through, right? So we'll take this out right there. We're only long at 45s. We just got a 50. We actually got two outs there. I think we got a 50. No, yeah, we got a 56 and a 57. So I actually didn't realize I had a 57. So went up to 56 and I offered out again. So we got out up there of about 10% or so in and around that, maybe a little bit more, about 15% there on the way up to that top side. So it's a small scalp. It's 15 cents, but hopefully we can get, 12 cents. Hopefully we can get a little bit more on that naturally if we continue to move higher. All right, so that's Amazon. So I've only got 3 longs on. As far as shorts, I mean, we can look at this hot list again here that we've looked at a little bit there. Nvidia. Oh, this PGHL stock. Wow. PGHL. Someone, and shout out to whoever you are there in the chat, that gave me a message on Twitter today. And it was early this morning, and it was PGHL is all that it said. And honestly, like, I don't know anything about this name. You brought it up to me there, Obi. And it had, I guess I can't even zoom out that much here. Let's go to a 5-minute range.
Crazy.
Like, apparently this was real?
Yeah,
like,
that was real.
$200 at one point today. Yeah. And then now it's at $1?
That was in the after hours yesterday.
Oh, this was the after hours yesterday. Okay, my bad.
So right at 4 o'clock,
Okay.
they opened up. They actually halted
different chart.
9:48 in the morning, halted,
Right. Okay, so
and then opened up at 200.
that's what I'm saying. So there's yesterday. But then
rigged.
where do we
That's
open up
straight rigged.
today? We open up today 9:30 when the volume comes in down at $9.
Yeah, and we've been fading all day. Straight fades. Actually, no, we open up at, what does that open?
So this was $200. So this is the thing.
$14 we open up.
Like the DOJ and all this kind of stuff and all this, honestly, all this crap, they're investigating like legitimate companies that are paying huge taxes, that are employing tons and tons of people, like an Amazon, like a Google, like an Apple, largest taxpayers in the history of their country.
I mean,
Same
we know
thing in
why.
Canada. Huh?
We know why they target those and not these.
Why?
Because they can't make as much money off of these guys.
No, but I get it, and I understand that. I mean, look,
I mean, it's
they got to exist, right? Lawyers have to sue people, or else they don't have jobs.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, let's look into something like this, man. Like, let's look into like, because people are losing. People are losing a lot of money in this. You know, like, who's making the money? I don't know. Like, just a huge move up, huge move down. You try to buy this all day. It's $12, $13, $14, $15, $16. Halt. All like. You know, this is a highly manipulated stock right here. And yet we looking at like, oh, their Chrome is too popular. Like, let's get them to sell Chrome. Get this out of here. You know, maybe if we find them $10 billion, they'll walk away, and they probably would, or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, I get nervous about those plays because money is so hard to come across. And we just talked about that. And then you get sort of these scams that people get caught up in, where it's really the people that are manipulating the stock that are the ones making the money. And I didn't lose or make any money on that. I just hate to do it, because what we talk about here is real trading and actually trying to make real money and trying to trade. And then we have to put up with like people that will post and say, I just made $10 trillion on PGHL. First of all, A, you probably didn't. And B, is that really trading, or is that just something nasty that seems to be happening in the market at that time? So, all right, there it is, man. Amazon, let's go. Money. I'm a little bitter. I mean, I would like to have made money on that as well. I just,
I mean, here's the thing.
I feel like it's so hard to scan for that, hard to find that, and it's just tough. But there goes Amazon, 25 cents in the money. What's up, Adara?
Yeah. So in the morning, I had it on my radar in the morning based off of what it did in the pre-market. Came up on some scanners, and again, there were a couple pretty, I guess, informative Twitter posts on it as well overnight. And yeah, that's how I kind of found out about it. And I was like, okay, well, like, yeah, I guess these games do exist in the market, and I guess it's pretty nasty business. Halted before 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Opens up at 4 o'clock after the close, so you know you can't halt it. And then spends a few seconds. Just if you look at the second chart on that ticker, spends a few seconds in the 200s. Doesn't even fill that much. Probably clocking out a lot of people who are maybe potentially sitting short on the ticker, and then just straight flush to the downside. All pre-market and all of the day as well. Again, absolutely crazy chart on PGHL here. So some nastiness nonetheless, but definitely something to study, in my opinion, if when things like this show up. Sure, don't want to get caught on the front side of the move, but I think it's definitely something. There's always something we can learn from this coming in on the backside, or on the when it's kind of settled down, right? You can see all day halt down off of open. Here's the thing, though. If you saw that happen prior day, are you really trying to get short on day two, thinking that maybe they pull the same shenanigans on the second day, right? I don't know. Like, what is your ultimate risk here? If you can risk, maybe like is your risk that those prints at 200? If so, are you looking for it to get to zero? Like, I don't know what that really is. But again, if you can halt a ticker, and I don't even think it was a. Was it a momentum halt? Yeah, probably.
I mean, here we got Vinu in the chat right here. Look, I mean, I lost more than 40 grand. I mean, that's a lot. So we actually had a question on the Ask Trader. A question. Sorry. Was that
no? I'm just asking Vinu. Was that an account blown?
PHGL. I'm assuming PGHL. I had 1,200 shares when it dropped from $200 to $50. I mean, Yeah, I feel bad for that, Vinu, but we had a chat, we had a question on Instagram today that I answered that Andre is going to be putting up, and it was like, how do you get started into day trading? I talked about prop trading. You know, everybody has a different journey. Mine is starting here. I've been here trading prop for 20-something years, and same company and everything. But what I learned at a very, very early part of my career, and thankful to have learned this again, obviously, would be the risk management. And yeah, you know, that's what can happen. These stocks are going to halt. They're going to do things that you don't like. And unfortunately, losing that kind of money is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. People get caught up. They're reading blogs. They're trying to follow traders that aren't real. And it's just, you get caught up in all that stuff. And at the end of the day, you're just kind of the sheep that they're leading to pasture. So I just be very, very careful. This is why I'm very, very proud. You know, when we have traders like Obi, like Joe, like Sharif, Neil, myself, and all that are honestly like, this trade on Amazon, is it going to look, you know, like PGHL? No. Are you going to be able to make or lose 40 grand on this trade? No. You know, but it makes sense to me. We talked about why we like it. And that's everything that we do on the show here. We talk to you exactly why we like all the trades that we take. And we try to justify them. And when they don't work out, we get out or we talk about what happened. And right here, there goes Amazon, or sorry, this is Apple. I meant to call up Amazon, but there's Apple. Nice move to the upside. Just took another piece out as we're riding the 50, watching out, and telling you we only have percentage points left on this play. Same thing as Amazon. We sort of built the case right here. We talked about VWAP. Now look what's happening. Now we got to change our plan again. Become that risk manager. Become comfortable doing stuff like that, and then it just starts to come in, and you don't put on that crazy risk. Just like Tesla, like and again, bad stock, worst stock of the day by far is going to be Tesla here. And it's like, I have to punch out here, which sucks, at 227. But if it breaks that, I can show you larger. Didn't want to be in. All of these are, I'm lost, I'm out. I lost, I'm out. I lost, I'm out. Live to sort of see another day in trading. And I know that that sounds like very repetitive, and a lot of traders have said that. I try not to risk more than 20 to 25% of whatever daily goal I have on one single trade. So that's kind of my thing there. So if your daily goal is to make $100 and that's on average, remember, goal and reality are two completely different things. So if you on average make $100, then if you're holding something $25, $30 against you, it needs to get to the point where you're thinking about, where's my stop? And maybe I should have already been stopped. You know, same way on the upside. If my goal is to make $100 and I have a $30 winner on board, maybe take off something to make sure you have that win, right? And I know, Obi, you do a good job of trying to hold things for obviously as long as you can and hitting key levels, but you'll still tap out.
Yeah.
Like if something's not trading appropriately, we tap out.
Yeah.
And I just think that's the one thing. I feel bad, Vinu, and for anybody out there that loses like that. But at the end of the day, follow us all over Twitter, all over the place, and you'll be able to see, hopefully, our trades, what we break it down. And I even make a sticky note so you can try to follow along on some of that. So there it is. Thank you. I don't even know what this is, but there's 2 NY cent here. This is why the show is different. I mean, this is why I'm here. I don't know. I haven't even read what's out here. You guys talk about it and then take the trade live. Whether we take the trade or not, it's our option. At least we see what we look at and we learn. I mean, that, for me, is perfect. That's like... We started this show talking about, it's been so long since I've said this, but it was like inform, educate, entertain. There might have been one more involved in that. But that's what we're trying to do. Show you that we can have a good time here, put on some good trades, and make money with our hands and not with robots, right? And not try to charge people to come. We don't charge anything. This is a completely free show. We do obviously have that advertising aspect to it, but that's what it's about. That's how we keep the show live for you guys. So again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you haven't done so, please do that. Make sure you hit that bell. You know, come back every single day and let us prove to you what we're doing here, and let us prove to you our value.
I pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button.
Yeah. I mean, right there, he pities you if you don't do that. I don't necessarily pity anybody for that, but shout out to Mr. T right there. What's Mr. T's full name? I should know that.
Tylenol? Maybe
Ted Tylenol is what did he just say over there?
I have no idea.
Anyways, there it is. Thank you, Elon. Everybody liking these words of wisdom, and it's just talking, right? So, all right. Let's move on. All right, so there comes Amazon. Amazon dripping in, right? So again, we take out some profits there at the 50-period moving average. Get this guy an iron, by the way. Like, we can't film those things after I sit down here forever. All right, there it is right there. We just got some out at VWAP. We'll see if it fades back in, but let's now change. You can see live here. I don't know if we'll average in anymore. I mean, this is pretty close to where we're in anyways. 206.25, so 206.20. Let's go to 206.19, 100% out. Boom, we'll get that out if it does fall back in there, into that level. Maybe we'll try it, add in and around VWAP. 206.30, we'll average into a little bit more shares down there. But so far, so good on that trade. We were able to get more out of Apple. We talked about that. We have now less than 5%, and we're less than 10%, way less than 10% left now on our TQQs, as that made the move already for us. We talked about 20,800. So it's at those levels and not doing too much with only 45 minutes left. This hour of power doesn't really scare me yet.
Oh, I mean,
not too much power going on.
Oh, there's some power going on.
You're still watching AMD, which
like
is absolutely fantastic.
The chips are coming back up.
I didn't know that. Yeah, chip name's good.
Yeah, chips are definitely powering up. But the thing, that power started at noon, not just in power hour. We're just getting some continuation as of right now. But yeah, no, I'm still looking at this PGHL and I'm like, this is absolutely beautiful. Like, all the way from 15s down to sub $2. And yeah, this is definitely an outlier event, a black swan event, whatever you want to call it there, on that halt up craziness. Again, some scams maybe happening, some unusual price action, maybe some bad players in the market. But at the end of the day, they're using market mechanics to make this happen, and I guess that's part of the game and stock selection. And as Sean pointed out, your risk management definitely plays a part. And part of your risk management can be stock selection. Maybe you don't, like you said, you're not going to get involved in an Apple and have something like that happen to you. Right? You're not going to get involved in, say, like, even if it's something like a CrowdStrike or something like an AMD or TSM or even like an ARM, right? So I highly doubt that that's a thing. Oh, okay? All right. He wants me to stop leaning.
Fabian, man.
Come on, what are you?
Am I okay?
Joking. All right. Yeah, we got to fix the posture. Is what he's saying. Thank you. Oh yeah.
More. Yeah.
We get some shoulders too.
That's what I'm trying.
Yeah, exactly. Right. All right. So. Yeah, where is the next trade is what I'm looking for. And you know what? It's 3:17 right
if you
now.
ever need to center me again, you come back over here anytime.
Yeah.
Surprised you weren't centered there, Obi. You should know better.
Now I'm really conscious. I always see the camera in front of me kind of like moving, shifting around. So I was like, I got to be like a little positioned well for the shot there. But yeah, no, if you guys notice, sometimes like I'll lean to the right for about like 10 minutes, and then I'll lean to the left, and then I'll lean to the right,
That's some Fat Joe stuff. Lean back.
Yeah. Lean back. We just do the rock away. Come on.
Rock away.
That's what it is. All right, so something interesting that is happening is Urban Outfitters all-time highs. So let's
some of those retail names are just
I have my basket here looking at the earnings names on today. And Urban Outfitters definitely looking quite nice here. If we go to a higher time frame, would you look at that? So I'll add an alert here. It's closing in to all-time highs is what that alert was for. So all-time highs sitting here just under 52s, but prior highs coming in here at 48s. We're trading 47.50s right now. Again, on earnings, having a strong close going into the end of the day here. So yeah, earnings day 2 definitely going to be on watch. That might be on Friday. Friday, don't forget, is a half day for trading, but that move may come in on Friday. That move may come in on Monday as well. But right now, 48.05s are the high of day. We've held that opening range. We've held that VWAP, and we've continued up for some fresh highs on the day today. So looking at some of these other earnings names that we had on the day, this is one of the ones that's looking distinctly different. Other than Workday. Workday was the other one that pretty much is still continuing to trend up. A little bit of a strong sell coming in over the past few minutes there on Workday. Is this setting up for a reversion? I don't know. I don't think so. But even then, I don't know how much. It's very, very strong on the day with only about 40 minutes left. I don't know if I want to get in and chase a short down here and risk what is that? Risk 4 or 5 points to the high. Yeah, maybe not that. I like to sit there, kind of watch it, and as soon as that selling comes in, I think I would prefer something just underneath some of those highs. But yeah, strong ticker on the day today. Definitely putting in that work on the day is work day, and it kind of reverting a decent chunk of the sell-off that we had off of its earnings report. And you can see that anchored, reclaimed, and held early on in the morning session before we started to accelerate. Intraday VWAP, I guess, was the place to be. That anchored, not really playing too much of a role right off the bat, even in the pre-market. But again, once we hold and reclaim and then hold a little bit higher, seems like that was a good place to kind of keep an eye on workday. But AMBA, was that Umbrella? Yeah, so Umbrella, yeah, still continue to the downside, trading near its lows there. That was a beautiful short right off of the open. Didn't really do what I was looking for. I was looking for the long, but it did quite the opposite. And I was like, oh boy, I don't want to chase it short down here, or I don't want to get long on a hold on 75s, which I guess was nice in retrospect, but it only pops up to 79s. Sure, that's a 4-point pop. But again, with the way this ticker was moving, I think I was looking for a little bit more to the upside. Again, I think this ticker was pushing, was it 52-week highs on this pop, and failed it coming out. And Crowd as well, CrowdStrike, another earnings name on the day today, straight selling off of the open. We were talking about this in the pre-market. I was like, oh boy, that's a strong bid, kind of recovering. And we were like, oh, they did really well on their earnings, whatever. And yeah, the trade definitely comes in as a reversion right off of the open. That aggressive selling, kind of retracing about 50% of that pre-market move that came in off of 7 a.m. Nice little flush all the way down, and even clips all the way down to some of its overnight lows there, coming in at 340. So day lows were 340 halves. Overnight lows off of the earnings report were 340. So we came about 50 pennies away from that and finally caught a bit of a bid, probably along with the market as well. You can see that expanding volume coming in the later half of the day, which comes into prior highs and starts to break a little bit of the trend. But VWAP was where we saw sellers all day long on that one. What else is there? There's HPQ, Hewlett Packard. They also reported the overnight, and yeah, similar story here, straight selling. So a lot of these tech names, man, they continue to sell right off of the open. And yeah, this seems like there was definitely a seller on board. Look at those candles, a little distinct there, back-to-back reds. Kind of an interesting way they open and close, and expanding volume as well. Beautifully enough, oh boy, the bid comes in off of the heaviest volume candle on the day. So definitely something to watch out for there. And we saw that AMD did something similar as well on the day. What else did we have? We had Dell. We talked about Dell, Umbrella, Workday, CrowdStrike, Autodesk as well, ADSK. Autodesk, ADSK, yes. Okay, so that one kind of popped. Was looking for a continuation off of the open there. Again, was this SSR? Yes, it was off of the open, and caught a bit of a bid coming right in. Failure to follow through that 300 though, hitting a high of day at 301.36 breaks that consolidation and flushes all the way to the downside. Kind of reminds me of how Target was looking this morning. We can take a look at that one and see if that hit any sort of targets. Oh boy, look at that. Straight reversion of yesterday's selling, aggressive selling that did come in yesterday there. And I think this was a trade that I definitely missed. I was like, okay, earnings, was it day 3? 1, 2, 3. Earnings day 4. We kind of gap up, consolidate above all of these earnings day 1 consolidation highs, day 2 highs, day 3 highs. And it gives you that strong drive right off of the open. Absolutely wild. But coming in on the day, the next day, strong flush. Today, though, catching another bit of a bid, so maybe we're consolidating on a bigger frame here. We still have not yet broken this high here that we got the bid off of the earnings reaction. Again, aggressive selling off of earnings as well. How much did we drop on that reaction? We dropped about 22%. Day 1 lows sitting about 23 to 25% there on Target. But let's see what it does, creeping back up into some of these highs. Where's the anchored off of this? That's what I'm asking. Okay, so there's the anchored. the yellow line. So we are trading above the anchored on target after their earnings. So I guess that might be a good look if you're looking for a bigger picture version. There's some selling coming in below that 136 on AMD. How much time do we have until the close? We still have 36 minutes. So
Are we
I'm
worried
more
about
than
any
willing to kind of hold this.
today?
Are we worried about any imbalances? Maybe, perhaps. I'll be watching out for some imbalances. If they show up, they show up. If it's the trade is there, and I will probably take something. But if it's not, then that's perfectly fine. I'm more than willing to kind of wind it down. It is the last day. It is the last day before Thanksgiving. Of course, Friday shortened day. Don't forget. We got a special show for you guys on Friday. Q&As.
Should be a good one. Some Q&A.
Bit of a call.
Yeah, we should have some fun there. We'll have a good time. Sharif's already talked about showing his dogs and stuff like that. That should be fun. You'll see Bell coming through as well. My cockapoo. All right, Amazon fail on that one. But we'll wait. We'll wait. We got back into it. We did take a quick little scalp there. So this is what we talked about. I'm going to get that DXYZ comment there. Thank you for the super chat in just 1 second. All right, Zoom. What's going on here? There you go. Zoom back. What happened here? I got to reset this Zoom. How do I do that? By doing that? All right. So there it is right there. So we do drop in there. There's the break of VWAP and we get out. We talked about that play for sure. And then all of a sudden it just came back in like real quickly into 206 as the futures are now trying to get lower. And it looks like we are thinking about holding that low. It looks like we will not. So we're going to give this just 10 cents lower than where we are right now and then get stopped out because we just did take a piece at 19s and 20s as it, for some reason, ripped all the way back up to the upside right there. So let's stay on this name and not get too carried away with it. But again, if it breaks anywhere lower than where we are right now, it's hands off. We are going to get stopped out immediately. That's too bad. Like Amazon, I guess when we realized that it wasn't going like the futures were there, we probably should have backed away from it. And someone asked as well, why would I be long Apple, the TQs, and Amazon? I just thought Amazon was giving us a good opportunity because I was using the 200 period there, thought we could possibly hold it, did not. So we pay the price as it just continues to fall down right there. It looked completely different than the TQs, right? I mean, for me, loading up the TQs is all the way down there. I thought we could have got a little bit more Amazon love than we did, but we did not. So, and again, more outs on the TQs and more outs on Apple. All right, Palantir battling back as well. Good trading there. Wow, it's green on the day. Okay. Palantir's going to be so Palantir in the futures will battle for number one and Apple, actually. We're only going to be red on one name. That will be actually Tesla. So we've traded Apple, Amazon, position pending. I guess that'll be somewhat red maybe. And then Palantir, TQs, and Tesla. So those have been the stocks that we've traded here today, and I've been pretty happy with the way things have been going. Palantir, we could have done better. All right, here we go. Come on, Amazon. Oh, yeah. All right, so we got to go back over here. So this is what I mean. Start to scalp some of this out now. 15, 16, 17s. We're only long at 8, but we're just trying to battle back. That's it, right? We saw this move almost clock us out there on the downside. So if we do get a little bit of a bump back upside, let's take it. We're long at 8s. We just took 16s and 17s and even more than that. 18s, 19s on the upside. We got to be very, very careful here. The market, a little tipsy-turvy. I asked about those imbalances. I didn't hear what Obi said, if there was anything scheduled. We will look up to it. Where's my imbalance locator? There it is. All right, so size so far. Pfizer. Pfizer, 1.5 million to sell right now. Kenvue as well. Hey, this is the high school I went to. TFC, Turner Fenton. Wells Fargo's there as a sell. Of course, you're not going to get any NASDAQ names here until 350. Yeah. Come on, Amazon, let's do this right now. In the money, 10 cents, but you know, the hit we took was 10 cents. So we'll see if it can continue to move upside right now. And if these futures go great, maybe we do get a little bit of an Amazon buy. We had a good report, a good move earlier on Dix. We talked about that up to, Again, that 218 was a good break early, and then it's just gone back to sleep. We talked about that a little bit. Alibaba, quick little look on this one. So again, when we left you guys at 11, we talked about this bottom of 86.50. That did come in again. It did rip up to 87. Now it looks to fade out. I would say if you're looking for a short, I mean, if BABA doesn't hold this 86.50 level, first time breaking today, so that could create some panic and get traders out of any longs that they've been holding all day into this 86.50. So that could be something. And this is why we get out of Amazon, man. It just, not why we get out of it. We like to hold it for a little bit longer. I'm going to put another piece at 17s. And then if we can get upside, great. But we'll try to hold the rest of this. But look at Amazon just dancing right now. PGHL, okay, PGHL. Someone wants us to have a quick look at that. So again, 23 million shares. Maybe it's worth going long here. I mean, you know, zooming in on this, just halted, trying to hold out for 150. Yeah, man, PGHL. Maybe it's worth a shot against that 150 right now. Let's go back over to Adara.
What we're going to do here as we head into this power hour ahead of our Thanksgiving holiday in the U.S., we're going to take a look at the larger movers to the upside and downside on the S&P 500. I like having a theme for these, so what we're going to do right now is take a look at some names specifically in this tech services sector. So we're going to take a look at some tech services names, most of which are pretty sharply to the downside. I believe all of which are pretty sharply to the downside. Starting with Palo Alto Networks, PANW. This one's down about 3%. We did have here some movement here in the option space, some insider selling, if you will. Nir Zook, who is the CTO at Palo Alto Networks and also one of their co-founders, basically exercising almost $500 million worth of options here, selling 1.5 million shares. So some insider selling. And the Palo Alto Network move to the downside could also be a sympathy play with this next name here, CrowdStrike. CRWD has tried to recover a couple times here, still down almost 5% though after earnings. They beat on EPS and sales. Their guidance for fiscal 2025 was pretty strong across the board, but their Q4 revenue was and non-GAAP EPS guidance a little bit disappointing for the market. HSBC downgraded them as well. And last but not least, another earnings name here, ADSK. This is Autodesk here, basically beating on EPS and sales, but their guidance was also a little bit more mixed here. They also are focusing on apparently some cost-cutting efforts amid some pressure from Starboard, which is an activist investor, according to their CEO. And they announced a new CFO here, Janesh Murani. So lots happening here in ADSK. Overall, some big moves to the downside in this tech space, as we've seen all day, guys.
Dara, good little update right there. All right. So we're going to get out something here on the futures on TQs because we just broke the VWAP there. So we'll get another piece out right here. It's a good win, man. It's 80 handles in the money right now off that bottom. And we got stopped out when we weren't here, which we put it at the bottom. That's going to happen. And again, you shouldn't really leave your station. You know, we have some orders out there. We didn't. We got stopped out, but then we came back and was like, all right, let's take that long again. We liked it. These have coded purple because I had offers higher. So unfortunately, that's not unfortunately, that's the way the software works. So if we have orders that are a little bit higher than where we are, then it codes into that level again. So we'll have to watch out for that. We did get a super chat about DXYZ. So just really quickly there about Destiny. And it was like, what do you think about this as a long-term investment? Well, I just looked it up. Off their last report, so right here, their, hold on a second here, right here, their market cap, according to this, which is the Benzinga Pro platform, is 474. Their reported portfolio is 58 million. So I think it's close to 8x on what they're actually holding right there. But they do hold, of course, many interesting names such as C3AI, OpenAI, not C3AI, SpaceX, and a few other names. So if you're interested in getting involved in that, fine. But again, it's about 5x right now, the value there. So what that means is that if you're looking to invest in it, right now the portfolio itself has about, it said 58.2 million as the current value. So again, other rounds get raised and things like that, funding happens, which will definitely change the value of these the securities in their portfolio. So just be careful with it. I do think that there is some value there, but what you're doing is you're investing in private tech companies. So it is one of the only ways to get involved in that. So, you know, for that reason, I guess I kind of like the stock if that's what you're looking to do. So, yeah, that is
long this with the super chat right there.
Another super chat?
Right? Yeah. So,
boy.
long this with the. Do you want to cover that one or?
No, I just talked about it. I'll say thank you after, yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you for the super chat there. Sold 10K RKLB, keeping on to 15. Let's take a quick look at that one. as well. And yeah, and all 6K of his DXYZ going more cash for the tax harvesting season. Have a great holiday season all back in after the new year. You too, along this. Hope you have a good holiday. We will see you again in the new year. Let's take a quick look at what our Rocket Lab is up to. You're saying you're keeping, I guess, over half. Was it over half your position? Keeping 15K. Yeah, okay, so over half your position here on Rocket Labs. So let's quickly go to an hourly. I want to see. Was that you long this? Was that you on that sell candle this morning there?
How many shares? 10, 15K, 10K?
10K shares. So yeah, it seems like there's some strong selling that happened from 2650s all the way down to 25s. Nice. Is that, you know, it always feels nice to wipe a little bit of the book.
The best.
So nice little pullback on the day today. But let's go to a higher time frame and check out what Rocket Lab has been up to over the past few weeks. Wow, this thing has been trending, dude. This has been trending from a good chunk of for a good chunk of the year. Yeah, it seems like we've been making higher lows since about April. So we've been making higher lows on this thing since about April. Got through 5, hold of 6s. Wow, a nice little stair step as well. And we really started to accelerate through some of these earnings reports as well. We saw that earnings report come in on when was this? On November 12th? Yeah, November 12th. So the night of November 12th, we're trading significantly higher as we broke back above that $20 level, back into 27 highs. 27.35s are the highs on Rocket Labs as of right now, trading at 25.56. So yeah, good, solid trade, man. I'm curious to know where your entries were along this for both the Rocket Labs and DXYZ. Yeah, no, DXYZ is building, right? It's building. It's kind of they hold what do you call what do they hold again? SpaceX,
yep.
Right? SpaceX. So it is a private company, but it's a company that holds private company, I guess, shares. I think they're about over 30% of their holdings are SpaceX. So
you have to,
yeah, I think it's like 37 or something like that, if I remember correctly. But DXYZ, definitely an interesting name. But
company recorded an increase in its net asset value, $5.32 per share. So yeah, it's a little expensive.
Was it SpaceX that got a reval?
Well, that's the problem. If you have a down funding, if you have a down round, then it's going to affect the stock. But I mean, that's what investing in private equity is basically. And you know, you're going to take the risk, and you're sort of out there. Come on, one time, Amazon, one time. All right, so what you can do, though, is if you're looking up charts, I mean, especially that PGHL, DXYZ, and all that, you do want to be a member with eSignal. I mean, eSignal has been such a great charting platform for myself. We talked about some of the tools that I like to use with eSignal, and I think that all of you should probably think about getting that, especially if you are looking to chart various moves like what we've been talking about. eSignal has been a great tool for me. Charts that change the game, reliable, real-time data. I mean, here we go. Even this hot list that I use right now for eSignal is something that I look at. Like there's Nvidia, Mara, all of this. Scan the QR code there below. The best part about it is you control what you see. You can get your own entitlements and all that with eSignal. So you want, you know, NASDAQ, here's DXYZ. You can completely do dark mode, light mode, scanners, tick replays. Like watch this, 1 second chart. Just type in there 1S. There it is. There's your 1 second chart. Right, Amazon's coming back up. I'm going to take out a little piece here if I can get some. I mean, the stock making me nervous. But look, I mean, like just for example, NVDA, right? It's moving around. Here's a 1 second chart for it. It's going to give you a heart attack. Where's the 50-period moving average on NVIDIA here on a 1 second chart? It's going to take a second to load up, but here we go on NVDA. Make sure you do. Anyways, it's requesting it. It's going to take, there it is. So here's this chart blasting off right there. So here it is. Here's your 1 second chart. Use all the data. I mean, look pretty smooth going with NVIDIA as I zoom back in right there. But there it is. Nice moves back in. 1 second chart capabilities, tick replays and everything. I like eSignal. I like the platform. All right, so here we go. Now it's Amazon. Let's go. We said one time if we can get going a little bit. We took some out at 08s there. We'll see if we can get something at 11. Come on, man. I'm not holding it with that many shares. There we go. We get a little bit of a fill out now at 11. We'll see if it starts to rip back to the north side right now into the close oh yeah. We said one time, and boy, oh boy, Obi, there it is. Wow. That's why you sit there, dude. What is happening? There's something different today that I'm noticing, and maybe it's like, I noticed this with Palantir. Like, that just smoked all the way. Like, look at this thing. That just went out. We got 23s there, Obi. Like, out of nowhere.
It just wiped.
Like, look at this. It's wiping again. And then it'll just go right back down again. Yeah. See?
Man, people
down to
taking
16s.
People taking out the book, man.
Yeah, but there's no follow through. Is what I'm getting at. Normally, you'll see some kind of a move higher there, and it's really
a short-term pulse.
Yeah, it's a little pulsative there. And the thing about it is the futures aren't really doing anything. And this makes a difference. Like, for you guys that are sitting there, maybe not trading, scalping the way we do, I mean, you're kind of holding on to this. But for me, like, those kind of moves where I can just get quick 20 cents, those are going to mean something and add up at the end of the day. So yeah, that was a pretty good little move there for us on Amazon. Covered that out. We actually got out of half right there because we're sitting at VWAP. So I'm sitting there again. So let's see. If that happens one more time. All right, man. I didn't even realize the time, my guy. It's 3:40.
Oh boy.
So, oh boy, we are getting later and later. Some more outs for the TQQs. Some more outs for some Apple right there. Like, look, you got to sit there to take it as we come back in for AAPL. Let me have that again, Ramin. The oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, our boy Joe over there. Is that you, Joe W, in the chat? You J Dub. Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
We do have that other face that you see. Look at Amazon now.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely crazy. You got to have that ambition for that cash. You know, if you can grab that, then that's what you take. So there it is, man. 206 and change. We'll see what winds up happening now into the close with AMZN. No more for me. We'll let it settle down a little bit here into the close for AMZN.
Yeah, I'm just, again, I'm looking for opportunities with only about 19 minutes left. Probably just going to be watching some of those imbalances. I'm watching AMD here, potentially thinking about getting a little cheeky and maybe sending in a mock, but I don't know. I'll keep that I'll keep that for the last few minutes there. Yeah, no, I'm not really seeing anything else. Tesla's pretty much sideways right now. Things are starting to sell off. There goes the market. So we were talking about maybe a decisive action in and around this 20,800, and we just did a little bit of a tank city through those lows. Look at this consolidation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars just flat on top of 20,800, and then strong quadunk for a nice, I guess, 20-point flush to the downside, trading 20,780s right now on the NASDAQ. So yeah, nothing else much to see here. But yeah, no, let us know what you guys have traded on the day. I know, again, along this was saying that he was kind of deleveraging and getting in and out of positions for tax harvesting season as well there. So are you guys repositioning as well? Where did the chat go? Did I close my, no.
Denying the chat?
No, the chat was open. The chat window was open, and I don't know where it went. Okay, there you are. There it is. Okay, yeah, cool. Oh yeah, because I pulled it down earlier there. So I got to see what you guys are saying if I want to, interact and talk with the chat. That might be a little important. Okay, AGZAA asking, hi Obi, could you explain SSR and how we benefit from it? Okay, sure. We can talk about. I can talk about what SSR is. So SSR is basically a market mechanic called. It stands for short sell restriction. Oh yeah. So basically, when a ticker trades 10% lower, so if you open up 10% lower than prior day's close, it has to open up. You can hit that limit in the pre-market, and it's still not SSR technically. And then if you hit that limit off of the open and you open up 10% lower off of prior day's close, the SSR mechanic will stay on. And what? It stays on for 2 days or 3 days? 2 days, I think.
2 days, yeah.
2 days. So it'll stay in that state for 2 trading days after that event. And basically, what that means is that if you do not already hold inventory, you cannot hit the bid to sell. So there will be buyers on the bid, but you have to sit on the ask. You have to provide liquidity if you want to sell. But if you do see bids getting hit, there's one way you can hit the bid. It's if you're already holding inventory long. So if you're already long if you're already in a long position, then and only then can you hit the bid on an SSR name. So how did I use that? I guess that nuance on what was it? I forget my tickers all the time.
A Rocket Lab?
No, yes. Was it yesterday? I think it was a Gap. Yes, Gap. Gap was the one. So let's see. Let's go take a look at Gap here and see what that thing did off of earnings. Was that? No, never mind. That was not. Oh, sorry. Yes. Thank you, Adara. It was KSS, Kohl's from yesterday. I was like, yeah, I knew it was a retail name. Which one I did not know there. But yeah, okay, so yesterday, earnings comes out, right? So prior day, we close in and around 1836s, right? Prior day, we close around 1836s. Earnings come out, and then we open much lower. How much lower, you may ask? Let's take a quick measurement, right?
Obi, how much lower?
About 19% lower.
Okay, wow, nice.
19% lower,
we
open. So that SSR is definitely in play. That mechanic is happening on this ticker right off of the open. We get a strong bid, and then if you were observing what happened in and around that $15 mark, was that bids were getting hit, which kind of signifies that, okay, we're trending in we're in a downtrend, but all it's telling you is who is selling. So people who already have inventory, now they could have accumulated that inventory in the pre-market from before, maybe longer term participants, whatever you may think. It's people who already have inventory, they are hitting the bid. So how can you use that piece of information to your benefit? I have no idea, but it's something to think about. If you, I guess it's a nuance to your trade idea. It's like, if I see this, then I want to do this potentially. And my trade idea was, if I see bids getting hit on KSS, even though it's SSR, I want to get short because I want to sell with the players who are allowed to sell and are clearly in charge, not only off of the earnings reaction, not only in the pre-market, but also off of the open, off of VWAP, and much further down as well. So can you use that nuance to your benefit? I think sometimes in the past I have used it a little bit to my benefit, just to give me a little bit more information. It doesn't mean you cannot get short. It just means the ticker has to uptick into your order, and you have to already be sitting there in the market with a sell, and has to come and hit you. The bid has to come and hit you on the ask for you to get short there. So that's kind of the SSR mechanic, and that's how maybe potentially you can incorporate that mechanic into a trade idea. But again, I think there's a lot more to it than that. But that's in a quick nutshell. That is what SSR mechanic kind of is, and a lot of tickers kind of traded below that percent mark. Even on the day today. Again, we were looking at okay, who sold off of earnings today? I think it was Autodesk, right? Autodesk sold off, 20%. So we can take a look at Autodesk. ADSK was a perfect example of a ticker that was SSR on the day today. You can see off of earnings reaction right here. We traded all the way down to a low of 283s here, and we closed in and around 317. So right there, that move was about 30. I guess 10%. So wait, no, did it not get SSR? No, sorry. I thought this was SSR, but eventually it did kind of get to a low of 290. Still didn't hit that SSR. So my apologies, that was not SSR. So what was the SSR name then that I was thinking about today?
For today?
Dell?
Dell.
Yes, I think it might have been.
Dell was down 12 early?
Yeah, thank you once again, Adara. So Dell was the SSR name, yes. Okay, so Dell was definitely the SSR name today, opening up 13% off of prior day's close, roughly 12 to 13% off of prior day's close. And yeah, kind of that selling comes in once again off of the open aggressively, but then you catch a little bit of a bid. And that, just looking at the chart there and talking to some of the traders earlier on this morning that were watching the name, there was no more selling to be done at this point. And look at how aggressively that bid comes in on an SSR name. So that's the other side of it. It's like, all right, well, if nobody's hitting the bid on an SSR name and it's not really doing anything, after people were hitting the bid, all of a sudden that selling, you can probably see it stop. at the same time, and maybe start taking out size on the ask as well, and then maybe you can make some decisions in and around some of that price action on the book and the tape as well. So SSR, great mechanic. My question has always been though, Sean.
Yes.
Why don't we have like a
SSR bands?
an LBR, like a long buy restriction for things that have gapped up 10%? Why is it only things that are gapping down? Like, do you not want to have balance? Why is there no balance? There's an imbalance in the force.
There is an imbalance in the force, yeah. It's because on the way up, the mechanics obviously wouldn't work the same, because it's not about being able to, the reason why you went on the way down is to protect those that are long, because there is no bid. On the way up, if you don't want to sell your shares, just pull all the offers. But, you know, we do halt to the upside, remember?
Yeah, we halt.
And then if it's news pending, it will wait for that news to come out. So there are some market mechanics like that PGHL there that could try to save you. But yeah, often it is more the limit down, the SSR, that helps you prevent some of that. Okay, so here we go now. We're starting to cruise now. Here come the imbalances in one and now. All right, so we're in this now. All right, Broadcom has a nice little bid to it. We can go check, oops, that's grab. Let's check out what Broadcom is saying right now. All right, what is it saying? That's still grab. Come on, Broadcom. You see what I'm saying? Like, my charts are very, very slow today. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, so there's a little gap up from 159 up to 159.50, 159.50, that's the big bid underneath it. It looks like Apple has a bid. What is the market doing? Yeah, of course, market's starting to go back up. Amazon, we got stopped out of. We're fine with that one. There's your AMD that you're still in. So that is
that's
small bid.
Oh, imbalances came out.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's 350.
I was like, oh boy, I got a little
already
distracted.
some turkey action over there. We're getting some sleepy times there, Obi. But yeah, nice move right there for some of these names. Broadcom, Lyft. Whoa. Whoopsies. Was there some rebalance action there on Lyft? Lyft with a buy imbalance, half decent right now. So Lyft nicely up to 1730 right now. Nice move there for Lyft, just getting that bump up, and there it is. Now back down to 1.6 million. So yeah, I think we're doing the right thing by looking at these names. Doesn't seem to be too much movement though here early in these imbalances. So we could just check back on Tesla, 333. So that's going to suck getting out. That's the regretted spot there today. We're not green today. We would be green if we had a better decision, whoopsies, there on Tesla. But for now, we don't. So yeah, there goes Tesla at 1.5%. There for the day, as Grab is the big one there, and Broadcom. So yeah, not much happening with Grab. So are you able to get out of everything? Oh gosh, Randy's still here. That's right.
Yo.
Are you here late today or no? I thought you were late. The next. What's up, Randy? I thought you were going to be staying late over the weekend. Oh, that too. Okay. Yeah, apparently they're starting immediately. We got to. Brendan was already like, guys, as soon as. Like, this is the best part.
Oh, boy.
It's like, I've never, ever been told this before, basically, in my life. As soon as the show's over, get the hell out of here.
What about
we do
my
the market?
screenshots?
What screenshots?
I take, never mind.
No screenshots for you, Mike.
What do you mean?
No screenshots for you.
I'm not leaving.
No, you are
I'm not
actually
leaving.
Yeah, so we got to get out of here because it's ASAP. It's all even on the other side. There's some pipe action happening here, and we got to cover everything up. We have the caution thing over there. Did you build that? That's not that impressive, actually. Yeah. So that's going to be put over. We're going to protect everything. And then fingers crossed that we're able to host this show live and in living color on Monday. But for those of you that were wondering, tomorrow, NEPA.
Yep, market's closed.
And then on Friday, half-day Q&A. Q&A. Randy, we'll send you the Zoom link, man. You can come in on the Q&A. We're going to be ready to rock and roll. Could be, Neil, myself, everybody. Obi can get the link. Joe, everybody who wants to be part of it. We'll be here. Ramin, Fabian, what's up, Joe? No? Are you going to be on the Zoom call tomorrow? On Friday? Yeah. The only thing is I got to do brunch with the wife. That's going to be happening tomorrow. Okay. And yeah, that's about it, man. Amazon falling, free fall.
What's your, I think, did you ask me, what's your favorite brunch item? Brunch menu item?
So if I was, for brunch is a little bit different, but for breakfast, it would straight be toasted Western.
Okay.
Like I like a Western omelet, like a nice Western sandwich. I'm like an egg guy, but not a huge egg guy.
Okay.
So But yeah, that would be it, man. Like some kind of a sandwich I really like. Are you bacon or sausage?
I think I would rather go with some like a sausage. I'm more of like a hot dog kind of guy. But
Yeah, I know.
no,
but for you know
for brunch, my favorite brunch food. Favorite brunch food?
Would you like
Bottomless
bacon
mimosas.
or sausage, sir? Do you have hot dog, boiled hot dog? That's not with my side of
I mean, no, that sausage is
Is
more
that
is a close. It's the closest thing to like I don't know.
Oh man, Obi, this guy's hilarious.
Anyway.
Yeah. So what was that? So sausage. Yeah. Okay.
Well, no, not for a favorite brunch.
No. I mean, if you have the eggs and bacon. or
Okay,
eggs
yeah,
and sausage.
sausage. Yeah.
Okay. So I went with the toasted Western. What would you be going with?
For favorite bottomless mimosas.
That doesn't count.
Of course. What do you mean? That's a
Liquid,
That's a
dude?
class. It's a
Well,
classic.
then my favorite is coffee.
What do you
then.
mean? No. It's
Bottomless mimosas.
Yeah, that's a brunch
That's
dish.
like, what's your favorite drink? It's like bottomless beer or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, you know what?
Where do they have that? Sign me up.
Yeah, well, we used to have those at our keg parties until the keg ran dry. And that seemed to be happening a little bit too frequently. All right, so at the end of the day, though, I like the bottomless mimosas. Have you had Caesars before at breakfast?
Yeah, of course. What do you mean? That's a classic
Most people
hangover cure.
Yeah, most people on the chat are not fans or have ever had a Caesar.
Yeah.
Clamato juice.
Yeah, nice little tomato with a little bit of
Vodka.
pepper, salt, pepper
Vodka.
around the rim.
I have a Croatian uncle. He says not vodka. Vodka.
Vodka.
Like with a W there.
Yeah.
Some random conversations here as we get into the end of the day. But I like that. I feel like you had that ready to go. The bottomless.
Yeah. That's why I asked you. I was like, whenever anybody asks me what's your favorite or thing to order at brunch, I'm just like straight up bottomless mimosa. So let's go for that.
The wife likes. Oh my God, I'm completely with the hollandaise. Oh man. Oh, what are those called?
What are those called again?
Absolutely ridiculous.
I should probably get out
It's
of
the most
this
famous
position.
breakfast thing of all time.
Maybe.
Eggs Benedict.
Oh yes, eggs Benny with the hollandaise.
Yeah, with the hollandaise. We'll prefer with the avocado rather than the smoked salmon. Would you rather have avocado on top or smoked salmon?
Salmon.
Salmon? I'm more of a avocado guy. Okay, so Amazon. You gotta get that protein.
Oh,
in
what?
there. All right, superfood. Okay, so Amazon there with a little.
Boys on these imbalances.
All right. I do have great news for everybody. We will be going to Adara very soon. I heard that call as well. Adara immediately.
Let's go.
Sorry about that. I got a little bit too excited there. Right as you mentioned Amazon, I had just seen this story, was just about ready to throw. Teamsters here, which is a labor union, is, according to their website, filing unfair labor practice charges against Amazon. They're also going to be filing some formal complaints with Equity Employment Opportunity Commission. This has to do with an incident, I guess, that happened in a New York facility where a Amazon driver was verbally assaulted. So Teamsters filing here some charges involving AMZN, guys.
All right. So
Well,
some intraday news coming into the close.
We are in and out of Amazon. And I mean, just look quickly here about risk management, right? In, there's the drop out. So we don't have to be a part of all of this and balance up, but look where it goes right into the low of the day. And then the hold on those imbalances there for Amazon. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody again, to all of our friends down south there. And of course, because, stop that. One more time. That's it.
What is this one? This one says moon. Oh, we're crashing into the. Oh no, wait, that's sick. What's the bear one? Okay, that's Neil on the bear. Got the props.
All I tried to do was hit the cannon.
Nice. Oh, I like this one. What's this
What's
one?
a Palantir?
Boom.
You're really having a lot of fun there, Obi.
Let's go.
Obi,
I'm
you're
just trying to-
you're getting very, very comfortable. I noticed.
Getting confident.
Good.
There you go.
Good. I like.
Nice timing on that one.
The funny thing is, we don't have any Thanksgiving things.
Oh, that was a no. That
Remain!
was chicken. That was a chicken dinner. Yeah. Almost turkey. Kind of.
Maybe it was Obi.
Same.
All right. But anyways, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. As you know what,
Thanksgiving, guys.
quick little look here at the market. The NASDAQ will finish down 0.9% right now. Looks like with only 2 minutes left, the ES down 0.42. Quick check on energy. USO right now coming in at, 0.18. So not a bad little level there for US energy. So oil going to be a little upside there today. I want to check out the IWM as we get some action here with only a minute and a half left. IWM flat on the day as well. SMH, of course, the big one there. As you basically traded AMD perfectly short and long. SMH right there.
I wouldn't say perfectly. There was a lot of over trading in between, for sure.
All right, so Obi, you overtraded AMD pretty good there at the end of the day. SMH, nice move up, 1.33%. Nice move up at the end of the day, still down that 1.33%. And then Nvidia, as we're into the last minute, we got to go to Adara really quickly. Just want to see Nvidia. Nvidia was down 3%, right? Can't hold this guy back for too long right there. Bounces off 132. What's up, Adara?
Another Mag 7 story to end the day. Microsoft on watch, MSFT, seeing some headlines on Twitter that apparently the U.S. interest watchdog is launching, quote, a broad investigation into Microsoft. So not super specific as to what that's going to cover, but keep an eye on MSFT as we head into the close, guys.
Right now, yeah.
How dare you, Microsoft, do anything anti-competitive right there. Nice move down there, down to 422. Not a huge move, though, for Softy, but a nice move. Thank you, Adair. Okay, there it is. We have the countdown. It is live. It is live to go right now. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. With only 7 seconds left, what a hell of a day we had here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now we are closed. All right, man. Log off of everything immediately. Fabian's already over here. Hey, Fabian, what's going on right now? We're going to... Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right.
Whoa.
This is actually happening right now. Look at my teeth. Look at how white those are. Those pearly whites, baby.
That's solid.
Send that little clip to the dentist after this. I want to show them. All right, we got to wrap it up. All right, thank you, everybody. It's 4 o'clock.
Happy
Randy's
Thanksgiving.
here. Everybody's ready to go. Joe's in the back. Fabian's right here. All right, Randy, good luck with everything. Thank you so much,
Getting wrapped up.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up, man. It's the
day,
first time in
week.
history that we got to go real quick. All right, it's 4 o'clock. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll see you later.
Guys.
We're live
Bye.
Friday morning. Q&A. Ask us anything. See ya. Till then,
Have
bye.
a good weekend.